What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Action Force Valaverse Mail Away Pandora. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Alright, so in order to get this version of Pandora, you actually had to mail in Vala points, or no, what are they called? Action points. Yeah, and action points are on the back of the figures if you've like previously bought figures from the line. As you see with some of their exclusives, you would get 5 points. On mainline releases, you would get 2 points. So on and so forth. This is kind of the way that G.I. Joe used to do stuff, but you had to mail in the points. It was like $10 on the site, and you had to mail in 20 points, and you would get a figure for $10. But if you did not have enough action points, you could just pay $25 for the figure itself. So if you've been following the line for a while and you have points built up, it's fine. And if you don't, it's not the end of the world. You can just go buy it outright, which is what I did. Now, there's also a bloody chase variant of this, which looks absolutely insane. If I can find a picture, I will put it up now because it does look pretty cool. I wish I would have got that one, but it's not the end of the world because I'm going to be using this for a custom. But before we get into the figure itself, let's get a little backstory on Pandora and this version of her. So we have a file card that is actually sent to us with the figures. This is Miranda Kelly. Her primary specialty is organized crime. Her secondary skills are arson. That's kind of crazy. Birthplace is Limerick, Ireland. Rank affiliation is the Devil's Grin. Now, I was a little confused about that because I know majority of the figures come with this Action Force stand, as you see right there. It's subtle, but it also looks good. If you look hard enough, you see it, but it's not in your face. But she actually comes with a red stand that has this insignia in it, which is kind of crazy, which isn't the Devil's Grin logo. I believe the Devil's Grin logo is actually on the back of her jacket, but it does give you something to think about. I'm not going to bore you guys with her entire backstory. It's pretty crazy, but there's the Devil's Grin logo right there on the side. Now, if you want a different version of this figure along with the bloody chase version, there is an all black. So everywhere you see white on this, there's she's wearing black, and instead of a red shirt, she has a white shirt. It's a cool looking figure. I also picked it up. I don't think I'm gonna do a review of it because it's pretty much the same thing, just a different colorway, but I digress. Now, Pandora was released Series 2 or Series 3, and she could have been an exclusive. I don't really remember. I got into Action Force with Series 4, so I know she was a highly desired female figure that a lot of people wanted, and she kept selling out, so they decided to do a mail away option for her, and that's pretty cool. I don't blame them. It's a really smart idea, to be honest with you. That way you're getting something exclusive for the diehard fans, but that is how it goes. So I'm going to talk about the accessories before I get into the figure itself, because I am excited to talk about all of it. So starting off with Pandora, as you see, she has the 2 trigger finger hands on the figure itself, which is pretty standard for that type of stuff. And I don't know why, but I'm just looking through my bag right now. I got 2 right fisted hands, which is unfortunate. I mean, I could probably shoot him a message and get a left-handed fisted hand, but it's not the end of the world. She has 2 weapon holding hands, which are great for what she has on the back. You will see in a minute. And then she comes with like a, I guess this would be holding a gun, like holding the barrel of a gun. That would make the most sense. And the same hand for the other side, which is nice. That's all fine and dandy. On top of those hands, she also comes with the stand that we have already mentioned. You guys know about that. She comes with 2 holsters, which I actually slid off her legs in order to like kind of start preparing for the custom, but I figured I'd do a reveal before I went too far. They have the red straps with obviously where the other accessories will go in, and the buckles are painted on them and everything. They look very nice. And just to give you an idea, she does come with 2 pistols, obviously. They do have a hole in the tip of them for blast effects that you've seen from G.I. Joe, Marvel Legends, Valaverse even, and these fit into the holster fairly nice from what I remember. Let's see. Yeah, that's how it fits into the holster. So that's not that bad, honestly. I like that a lot. But we do not need her holding those right now for the sake of the review. This is my first ever female figure from Action Force or Valaverse, so it is nice. We do have this new head scan, which we have not seen before. The other Pandora head is like attractive, I guess you could say. This chick's just crazy. This chick has a screw loose, and that's pretty obvious. So she has this Joker style grin. I believe the file card called it a Glasgow smile carved into her face. That's insane. That's actually kind of crazy. But she has that big smile. If you're familiar with wrestling, she kind of looks like Alexa Bliss. Not the hair, but the face. And then she has this alternate head here with this kind of smirk. You see the scarring of the face. That is crazy. She has the pink earring on this side, has one on this side too. The ponytail is actually articulated, so you can move it around as you please. She also has a braid at the top with a nice wash on that. I like the attention of the wash on the hair. And this chick has a tattoo on her skull. I told you, she's kind of crazy. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera. Just believe me, that's a detailed tattoo on the back of a head. I don't even know if you can get a tattoo that detailed on the head, because that is such a sensitive area to tattoo. Anyway, let's get into the figure itself. So she's in this nice jacket, which does not hinder articulation. It's very cold here, so that's why joints are a little stiff. That is on me. I should have heated it up beforehand. But she does have full range of movement, believe it or not. She does have the double jointed arms, which are always a good idea. As you see, I am struggling. It is very freaking cold here. It's like 10 degrees. Very nice. So she has great range of motion. Also, shout out to Action Force or Valaverse. They painted all the zippers on her, which is going to look great on the custom. As you see, it is the red tank top. I don't know why they have the spaghetti straps on there. That's definitely a choice. Has the red floating belt so it doesn't get in the way. All the zippers on the front, the paint is insane on those. She does have drop down hips, which is a nice touch, as you see there. I don't like the drop down hips typically with action figures, but for an independent toy line, I guess you could still call Valaverse. It is nice to have the added stuff. But you have the zippers on the pants. Let's see if she has good range of motion. She should with the drop down hips. That is a high kick and a half. This chick's gonna kick someone's head off. And let's see how the leg articulation is at the knee. They're double jointed knees, and you can kick back about that far, which is very, very nice. She does have thigh swivel, which is always good for action figures. I can't stand action figures that don't have it nowadays, to be honest with you. And she does have boot swivel. Does she have ankle pivot? She does have ankle pivot, which is nice. And there are the holes in the bottom of the boots. Even nice detail on the bottom of the boots, honestly. It'd been cool if they kind of had those dirtied up, because those are going to get dirty immediately. But that is nice. And then I guess I was going to show you guys the back of the figure. There's that Devil's Grin logo, which is really cool. It is a little unfortunate, the fact that there is a like peg hole right in the center of the forehead of the devil's head. But what can you do, honestly? Not much. And then you see she does have a sheath on the back of her belt, and you have this really cool knife. This is probably my favorite accessory, because that is just unreal. That looks like it could do some damage. That looks painful. I do not want to imagine this woman holding this knife. That's why I put it immediately in the sheath. But other than that, it's a very, very good figure. Oh yeah, and the head's on a ball joint, which just has insane motion. And then with the ponytail being able to get out of the way, like, you can just do all kinds of action poses. But other than that, let's get into a few size comparisons. So this is her with the Bone Collector from the Action Force line. I think that looks good. This is her with Condor, I believe from season or series 4. I think that looks good as well, if I can get him to stand up. That's her with her line of figures there. And then, let's see another comparison. Here's her with a Marvel Legends Punisher. You see the height difference there. I like that. I think that's a good height difference. And then just for giggles, let's compare her to the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Carded Duke and Cobra Commander. I like these a lot. I love the shiny helmet on that Cobra Commander. And then one last comparison. Let's get into the Jada Toys Fei Long for absolutely no reason. And she is just a hair taller than him. But other than that, I think this figure is really good. I do want to go back and pick up Eclipse from the Action Force line. I think that's a really solid figure. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and last but not least, take it easy.